Have you ever wondered if that woman who smiles at you, touches your arm, or looks at you differently is actually interested in you? The truth is that the body reveals what words keep hidden, and if you don't learn to read those invisible signals, you could end up missing opportunities, or worse, chasing someone who was never interested in you in the first place. I'm Christopher, and today I'm going to teach you how to read the 11 most reliable body language signs that indicate female attraction, backed by science and proven in real life. And not only that, I'm also going to reveal the clearest sign that she feels absolutely nothing for you, so you don't waste your time or your dignity. Because seduction isn't just about saying the right words. It's about knowing when to move forward, when to step back, and when you have all the cards in your favor without saying a single word. A study from the University of Kansas found that over 90% of emotional communication between two people happens non-verbally. In other words, if you don't understand her body language, you're literally speaking a different language than she is. But don't worry, you don't need to be an expert in micro-expressions. You just need to know what to look for and how to interpret it. And that's exactly what you're going to learn in this video. So get ready, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see women forever. And before we dive in, you already know the drill. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and turn on the notification bell, because here we give you the real tools, psychological, practical, and effective, to become a magnetic man. Now, let's get started with the first sign. And trust me, when you see this in a woman, it's not a coincidence. Sign number 11, the mirror effect. Few things say more without a single word than this. You're at a coffee shop, you run your hand through your hair, and seconds later, she does the same. She didn't think about it. She didn't plan it. She just did it. Why? Because when a woman unconsciously mirrors your movements, it's a clear sign that she feels comfortable, connected, and emotionally in sync with you. Science backs this up. This behavior is called the mirror effect, and in psychology, it's linked to the phenomenon of rapport. A study from New York University found that people who mirror each other feel greater closeness, empathy, and mutual attraction. And the best part? She can't control it. It's not just about copying gestures. It's about creating a subconscious dance of emotional connection. Her body is saying, "We're in sync. I see you as someone familiar. I'm attracted to you, and I don't even know why." So if you notice that she mimics your posture, the way you laugh, your hand movements, or even the way you lean back in your chair, don't ignore it. That signal is worth more than 1,000 words. Because mirroring isn't a coincidence, it's chemistry. And when it happens, you have the advantage. Sign number 10, playing with her hair. This is one of the most classic signs, and also one of the most misinterpreted. But if you know what to look for, you'll know when it's not just a habit, but a silent way of flirting. When a woman starts touching her hair, twirling a strand between her fingers, smoothing it, twisting it, or even tucking it behind her ear, she's responding to something. To you. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, this behavior is linked to self-grooming, an unconscious way of enhancing her appearance when she's around someone she's attracted to. And that's no coincidence. According to a study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, these small gestures, even though they seem subtle, activate subconscious mechanisms of sexual attention and self-awareness, especially in the context of romantic attraction. Now, pay attention. Context is key. If you're talking, laughing, you give her a compliment. And in that moment, she starts touching her hair more often. It's not because she's nervous. It's because she wants to look more attractive in your eyes. Because in her world, hair is a symbol of femininity, and she knows it. This gesture can also be a shy response. Did you say something that made her smile? and at the same time, she looked down and touched her hair? That's a powerful combination. Vulnerability, attraction, and a desire to impress you. Remember this. When a woman starts playing with her hair in your presence, her body is saying something that her words aren't ready to admit yet. Sign number 9. Intentional eye contact. There's no more direct or more revealing gesture than this. When a woman looks you in the eyes with intention, it's not random. It's not a fleeting glance. It's not an accidental moment of eye contact. It's deliberate. And if you pay attention, you'll realize that she's telling you a lot without saying a word. Psychology makes it clear. Sustained eye contact activates the brain's reward circuits, releasing oxytocin, the bonding hormone. You know what that means? That when she looks at you with intention, she's forming an emotional connection with you. Imagine you're in a group, everyone's talking, but her eyes, over and over again, keep finding yours. That's not a coincidence. That's her way of saying, I'm here with you, even though there are other people around. When a woman holds your gaze without discomfort, or even keeps it a second longer than normal, she's opening the door to something more. That's when you need to respond, not with words, but with presence. Sign number 8. She positions herself in your line of sight. This one is subtle, but powerful. She won't always walk up to you and start a conversation. But if a woman is interested, she'll do something very specific. She'll appear in front of you, on purpose. She might not say anything, but if you're at a gathering, a party, or even standing in line at a coffee shop, and she moves to position herself right where you can see her, it's not a coincidence. She's saying, I'm here. Look this way. I'm available for you to talk to me. Social psychology backs this up. When someone wants to be noticed by a specific person, they unconsciously adjust their posture and position to increase the chances of interaction. This gesture alone isn't everything, but if it's paired with eye contact, a smile, or physical closeness, it's a clear first step of female approach. And if you don't see her, you'll miss your chance. Sign number 7. She invades your personal space. This sign never fails, because the body never lies. We all have what psychologists call an invisible bubble, our personal space. And when someone steps into that bubble, it's either because they trust you or because they're attracted to you. Imagine you're at a party. There's plenty of room. But she doesn't stay on the other side of the room. She walks toward you and stops less than a meter away. That's already intentional. She's telling you, without saying it, I want to be close to you. And if the distance gets even smaller, less than 60 centimeters, she has entered what science calls the intimate zone. That space is usually reserved for family, close friends, or someone she wants something more with. A University of California study found that women who feel attracted to a man actively reduce the distance between them, seeking that silent space of connection. Does she talk to you from really close? Does she lean in when you're speaking, even though she can hear you just fine? Does she find excuses to get even closer? That's not clumsiness. That's direct body language, and you need to know how to read it. Sign number 6. The flaring of the nostrils. Yeah, I know. It sounds weird. But hear me out, because this sign, though subtle, is incredibly revealing. When a woman feels comfortable with you, when she lets her guard down, when her body feels safe and attracted, something interesting happens without her even realizing it. Her nostrils flare slightly. This tiny movement is part of a biological response linked to an increase in oxygen flow and the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. Translation: her body is preparing to interact with you in a more emotional, more open, even more sensual way. And the best part? She can't fake it. It's not a learned trick. It's not something she does on purpose. It's instinctive. a micro-expression of openness that only happens when she feels comfortable with you. So now you know. If you're talking to her, the conversation is flowing, and suddenly you notice her nostrils subtly flaring while she listens or looks at you. It's a biological sign of attraction. Unusual? Yes, but very real. Sign number 5. Focusing attention on her lips. This sign is direct and very, very powerful. When a woman starts touching her lips, moistening them, or applying lipstick while she's with you, it's not just a random habit. It's a way of drawing your attention to a sensual and highly significant area, her mouth. From a flirting psychology perspective, this gesture is linked to a subconscious desire to highlight her attractiveness and direct your gaze. In other words, she wants you to look at her, and she wants you to look right there. Think about this. Have you been talking for a while, and suddenly she pulls out her lip gloss, or gently touches her lower lip while listening to you? That's not a coincidence. It's nonverbal seduction, a clear sign that she's stepping into a more intimate dynamic with you. And don't forget, lips are one of the most watched areas during a kiss. So if she's highlighting them, her body is already playing with that idea. Sign number 4, the direction of her feet. Yes, her feet. Because while the face can lie, the feet rarely do. You're talking to her. She's smiling. She seems interested. But where are her feet pointing? In body language, feet reveal true intent. If they're pointing directly at you, that means full attention, real presence, true interest. But if her feet are turned in another direction, toward the exit, another group, or her friend, then even if she's being nice to you, her body is already somewhere else. And it's not just my opinion. Studies on nonverbal communication have shown that feet are one of the most accurate indicators of emotional focus, because we don't consciously control them. They act on instinct. So next time you're talking to a woman, take a quick look at her feet. Don't say anything, just observe. If they're pointing at you, keep going. If they're pointing at the door, she might already be gone, even if she's still standing in front of you. Now, let's move on to sign number 3. But before that, if this content is opening your eyes and helping you understand female psychology better than ever, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Here, we get straight to the point. No nonsense. Just real tools to help you see what other men don't. Ready to keep going? Let's move on to the next one. Sign number 3, dilated pupils and side glances. Some signs shout and others whisper. This is one of those that whispers, but it says a lot. When you're with a woman and her pupils dilate, it's not random. Science is clear. Pupil dilation is an involuntary response of the autonomic nervous system, directly linked to desire and attraction. In other words, her body reacts before her mind does. She can't fake it. She can't control it. If you see it, trust me, you're on the right track. And if you combine that with the classic side glance, that quick look she gives when she thinks you're not watching, or when she tilts her head down and looks up at you from a more reserved angle, you've got 2 subconscious signals working at the same time. She's watching you. She's assessing the situation. And most importantly, she's interested. But be careful. If you don't know how to hold eye contact, if you're distracted or unsure, you'll miss it. That's why I'll say it loud and clear. Start training your attention. Because these subtle signals are what separate an average guy from one who truly understands the game. Sign number 2, she exposes her neck. Few parts of the human body reveal so much with so little. The neck, besides being an erogenous zone, is also a vulnerable area. And when a woman shows it to you, it's not a coincidence. Whether she brushes her hair to one side, tilts her head gently, or stretches in a way that makes that area visible, She's sending an ancient signal. I feel safe with you. In the animal world, exposing the neck is a sign of trust. And in humans, it's not much different. When she does this, she's letting you see a softer, more intimate, more receptive side of her. And she won't do this with just anyone. Because a woman can talk to 100 guys, but only one will make her play with her hair and expose her neck while smiling at him. If you notice this, you're about to step into deeper territory, where it's no longer just about attraction, but about emotional trust and openness. Sign number 1, intentional physical touch. Here, there's no room for doubt. When a woman starts touching you intentionally, softly, deliberately, with clear purpose, that means the game has changed. It could be a light brush of her leg against yours. It could be placing her hand on yours, or even holding onto your arm because she's cold. It doesn't matter how she does it. What matters is that she's doing it on purpose. Intentional physical contact is a silent declaration of trust and attraction. She's no longer wondering if she likes you. Now, she's inviting you to take the next step. From touch psychology, we know that physical contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding and attachment hormone, especially in moments of intimacy and emotional connection. So now you know, if she touches you and doesn't pull away immediately, if her body leans into yours for no real reason, you're not in neutral territory anymore. You're in the zone of conquest, the ultimate sign that a woman is not interested in you. Because just as important as knowing when to move forward is knowing when to stop. Are you ready for that? Let's get into the final sign. Caution sign, crossed arms. And now, the sign nobody wants to see, but one you must recognize without a second of doubt. When a woman crosses her arms in front of you, her body is saying something loud and clear. I don't feel comfortable. I'm on the defensive. Or even worse, I want this to be over. Yes, I know. Maybe she's just cold. But let's be honest. If the conversation is flowing, if there's real interest, she'll find another way to stay warm before completely shutting down. Crossed arms aren't just a sign of disinterest. They're a barrier, a subconscious way of protecting herself, of creating distance, of emotionally shutting the door. And as a man who understands the subtle language of attraction, you can't ignore it. If you're talking to a woman and her body language says no, don't push, don't justify, and most importantly, don't chase after something that was dead before it even began. Because a truly attractive man doesn't beg for attention. He recognizes it, cultivates it, and knows when to walk away with dignity. And there you have it. The 11 body language signs that show she's into you, and one you should never ignore. Now it's your turn. Have you noticed any of these signs before? Have you ever missed one and regretted it later? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if this video opened your eyes, if you learned something new, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and keep developing yourself into the kind of man who doesn't just understand women, but also understands himself. See you in the next video. And as always, much success in your conquests.